football on EA Sports. Straight ahead, we've got what should be an interesting matchup between the Indianapolis Colts and the Houston Texans. I'll see you again at halftime as we preview some of the action coming up on Sunday. But for now, it's Thursday Night Football. And on the call, as always, it's Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, much appreciated, Coach, as we welcome all of you to our exclusive coverage of the National Football League on EA Sports. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Indianapolis Colts and the Houston Texans. Hi again, everyone. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Godden. And, Charles, we look at this Texan ball club entering play here. They were winners last time out, so they'll be looking, Charles, to make it 2 in a row.
And what I enjoyed when I watched their game tape and their victory last week is they put it together in every phase. Good offense, good defense, and some key plays on special teams. Let's see if they can get that second win in a row.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Colts, they come in off another victory a weekend ago. That ran their win streak up to 7 now.
And I think that win last week established them as Super Bowl frontrunners. They're playing with confidence and swagger, and you need that to go a long way.
Break that! Like 80! 54, Mike. Get this one on! Watch twist, block,
now Roethlisberger on first down. That's caught by Ware. Only a couple for him there on the game's first play, and it's second down. And let's take a look at the Texans' offense.
And congratulations on their win last week, but they didn't get a whole lot of time to celebrate it on Sunday. They were right back to work on Monday, but you'll have to do things differently when you prepare for a Thursday night game. Because normally you'll take some time off. Here you get right back to work on the game plan mentally, and probably not put any pads on until you play again Thursday night.
Now third down is looming, a pickup of 2 on first down and just 1 yard there.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
And that is going to be pulled in one-handed. Wow. A big-time play there for the Texans. 42 yards.
Things are looking pretty darn good on this first drive, aren't they? Came right out, set the tone, this time with a big pass play.
And if the peek behind the curtain that they gave us or their game plan, I don't think that's going to be the last one we see.
I think you're exactly right about that.
First down, here's the run with Martin. And he'll be brought down at about the 25 after a pickup of 4. The numbers on the ground for Martin a week ago. 20 carries, 84 yards.
And now that he's playing a Thursday night game, short week, you know he spent a lot of time in the trainer's room in the cold tub trying to get his legs back for this game.
From the 25 on second down, Roethlisberger. And he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown. DJ Moore, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Texans take it all the way down the field and score on the opening drive. With these Thursday night games, sometimes you get those quick turnarounds. You wonder how a team's going to start. They started really well.
Everyone's always wondering, going into a Thursday night game, who has their legs, who has the overall health of a team. But mentally, if you get that early edge, the other team might think to itself, it's been a short week. We're not really ready to go. You might run them into the ground that way. That's why getting that early score means a lot.
Now the 3rd leading rusher among rookies last year, it's Nick Chubb. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high powered, you got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored gives yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
That one, a gain of 20 and a first down.
Partner, as a quarterback, sometimes you just got to know when the clock has gone off in your head, it's time to go. Tuck it and get all you can.
On first down, they'll run with Chubb. And goes across midfield and down into Houston territory. A check on the numbers for Chubb from a week ago. 15 carries, 81 yards.
And now that he's playing a Thursday night game, short week, he spent a lot of time in the trainer's room in the cold tub trying to get his legs back for this game.
A run for Nick Chubb. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. 7 yards there and a first down. A couple of nice carries back-to-back here, establishing the ground game a bit.
Yeah, these aren't bare-bones runs now. I mean, they're getting substantial yardage, the kind of yards you're looking for, right? Let's go ahead and use a cliche. Stay ahead of the change, right? Five or more yards each time, that's what you're looking for in setting a tone and getting your offensive line going.
Good sign on the opening drive. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. 16 yards to pick up there. The Colts have a first down.
First down.
Now Jackson on first down. And this one's incomplete. He was trying to hit Taylor Gabriel that time. And that'll bring up second down. On the defensive side here, the starters for the Texans against the pass. Just numbers that they haven't liked. Number 30 in the league right now.
You know, when actors get ready for a scene, they often ask the question, what's my motivation? Or what's the motivation of this group? What's their mindset? What's the problem that they have? Will they create an identity that allows them to get better?
And they work this near the 5. He'll be stopped at the 6. The passing game for the Colts finding its stride, another first down. So they gave up the early touchdown. This has been a pretty good response. Nice drive, taking it down first and goal.
And I know all the cliches jump in, right? Don't get away from your game plan too early. Make sure you're settled down. Don't panic. But it's all true, isn't it? Because otherwise, you get out of what you plan to do during the game, and it's still early. Don't get crazy because you gave one up. Just respond as you just noted.
And he finds his tight end, Saleh. And he takes this one in for a Colts touchdown. Garrett Saleh, his first touchdown on the year, as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter.
The big fella was the recipient there for that touchdown pass, and it seems like more and more the tight end is the guy you have to worry about most in the passing game.
Extra point by Badgley, up and good. And we are tied at 7. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. This is taken at his 4. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. And now out comes Houston. And to be frank, they're just in a tough spot. It's only November, already eliminated from playoff contention. I know their fan base doesn't want to hear that, but that's the case. What are they fighting for now going forward?
You know exactly what they're...
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Lorenzo Carter in there to get him, and that is now sack number 18 on the season for him. Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on second down. First carry for Spencer Ware. They're back now to the original line of scrimmage thanks to that 8-yard gain. Third down now to follow.
Here we go.
And for the Colts, an extra defensive back in there now on third down. Out of the gun, it's Roethlisberger. They'll leave this for Ware. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. It's a gain of 9 yards, and that's going to make it fourth down.
Obviously, they didn't get everything they wanted on that completion, but they put themselves in a spot where you've got to at least think about going for it. I know where we are on the field, but still, you've got to think about it, don't you?
So a change of possession here on the punt, and the Colts are going to get it at the 20. And now Indianapolis set to take the field. And it's only November, but the playoffs, we know how it works. They'll be here before you know it. If it ended today, they would be the number 1 seed.
And that's a great spot to be in, but I love the phrase, if it ended today. And I'll guarantee you, that's what they've discussed in their locker room, in their meeting rooms. Yeah, we know where we'd be if it ended today, but we also know it's not ending today.
Right.
So they've got to continue to play the type of ball that put them in the spot where they're number 1 in their conference.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's second and 12. To throw is Jackson. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's third down.
But that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, and have them back on their heels.
On third down, Jackson. And he finds Stills, complete. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. 23 yards on the play.
It's a gain of 23 yards.
He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on third down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a first down.
Call it a gain of 5, and it'll make it second down.
At the 46-yard line.
Charles, Thursday night game, I think a lot of teams probably say shrink the playbook somewhat. Is that correct?
I think you're right about that because you just don't have the amount of time that you have in a normal week to put in a full playbook. So as you said, you shrink the playbook, pick out the plays that work best for you. You know what else you're looking for? Who are the freshest guys coming off the last game to play on a Thursday night? Guys that have a little extra pep in their step, you go to them early and often.
So a 1st and 10 now in Houston territory at the 45-yard line. On the ground, it's Chubb. The tackle made that time by Bryce Callahan. And this will probably be the last play of the quarter. Ready for the second quarter, and it's our visitors with the football as they are looking at a 2nd and 5 situation. Start of the second quarter, and it's the Colts in possession as they are looking at a 2nd and 5 situation. They go with Chubb on second down, and he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher third down looming.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
Escaping the pressure right. And he's going to be taken down with another first down as the stop's made at the Texans' 31-yard line.
When they watch film of this game and hand out the grade sheets, he's going to really like getting a double plus on this play. Why? He scrambles and picks up a first down. But what else does he do? Protects himself by sliding and avoiding the big hit. Double plus, big-time play.
Now a quick throw as that's complete on the hitch route. That one for Indianapolis resulting in 15 yards and a fresh set of downs.
That looked like a pretty good route combination there because you've got to find a way to clear the guy running the drag because when you do, you just put the ball on him and then let him run.
He's got some space. From the red zone now, here's Jackson on first down. To the goal line, but it's incomplete. Brandon Marshall, the linebacker, able to make the play defensively.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
To throw again on second down. Jackson on the move to his Jackson hit, and he lost the football. And the Texans scoop it. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
I know that taking care of the football is something that's drummed into every guy who plays this position, no matter what, whether he's running it, in the pocket, out of the pocket. But it's almost surprising to me that there aren't more fumbles by that position because of the way that they get attacked on each and every play.
Now, we had the fumble last week. Now, here's 2 weeks in a row with a fumble loss.
Concentration has got to be there, and he's got to understand how much time he has to take care of a play. And maybe his clock is off just a little bit.
Now Roethlisberger back into his end zone. Looking deep in the direction of... And got his man complete. The 30. The 20. Touchdown, Houston. Amari Cooper, 99 yards. And the Texans have taken the lead. So how about that for a backbreaker? Again, 99 yards.
And how about the audacity of the play call? When you're backed up that close to your goal line, usually you're just trying to run some type of a wedge play, a quarterback sneak, a dive, anything to try and create some room and take care of the ball. But that's confidence in your offensive line that they'll protect the guy throwing it, and he finds his guy for 99 yards. I love what they just did.
Fielded about a yard deep. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or two shy of the 30. Here comes the Indianapolis offense now as they get set to take over. And they'll be looking to atone for last time's mistake of fumbling inside the red zone. Certainly they don't want to do that again.
And so much emphasis placed on red zone offense. I mean, you have periods devoted in practice just for that, because everyone knows how vital it is to put points on the board when you've entered that part of the field. And to come away with nothing, that's difficult for a team to handle.
And difficult, and now we'll see if they can make it less difficult on themselves on this drive. So now they'll come up on 2nd and 10, once again from the 28. To throw is Jackson. To throw again. And Stills bringing it in. And oh, so close as he takes it all the way to the 2-yard line. A big play there on the catch and run, and even 70 yards. After the big play, a chance to finish now on 1st and goal. From the gun, Jackson, and that is caught. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Darren Waller with a lucky number 13 touchdowns now on the year, as they are an extra point away now from tying this football game. Extra point by Badgley, up and good. And we've got a tie game here in a back-and-forth first half. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive. This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away. And it culminates in an Indianapolis touchdown. Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. And Charles, the way touchdowns have come so fast and furious for both sides in this thing, it's starting to feel a little bit more like maybe a tennis match in a football game.
Yeah, I like your description there. Maybe we're sitting in a nice royal box watching this type of a game. But let's face it, right now, the way it's going back and forth, it's going to come down to who can get a stop. They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
Like 80. Watching you grind. Me and you all day. All day.
They'll run it. Here's Martin. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there. A nice job defensively. And it likely forces a punt situation on 4th. Yes, it's the first half, but we'll see if that stuff there on 3rd and 1 comes back to haunt him.
I hope you don't mind, but it's not going to stop me from putting a check mark next to this play. Let's look back as this game progresses and see if this is one of the key plays in the game, even though it occurred early.
They start on the ground with Nick Chubb. And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. Indianapolis moving the chains there on a gain of 12.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to run with.
Now the pass hauled in by Kenny Stills. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A big play on the catch and run, covering 34 yards. Well, one thing's for sure. They're going to have to come up with something at halftime because he is absolutely roasting them right now.
They're going to go through the whole litany of things, changing coverages, what are we going to do, put a man on him. The big thing to me is treat it like a good pitcher treats pitching a game. Change your timing, change your location. So sometimes you're up on him, sometimes you're back. Just change up the looks that he sees and make him just a little bit more hesitant.
Once again, they'll come up on the 26-yard line, 2nd and 10. First carry for Trenton Cannon. And he'll be dropped at the 23 after a pickup of about 4.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
Check, 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 check.
Now Jackson to throw on third down. Open man, Taylor Gabriel. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9.
Good work, boy.
They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. And with that completion, he's now north of 200 yards here in the first half. Boy, a tough start for the secondary defensively.
It is, and it's got to put a dent in their confidence. And, you know, you always want to keep that up and feel like you can always bounce back after plays. But with the kind of numbers he's putting up here, it's starting to wear on him a little bit, I think. So they're looking at each other and trying to figure out what defense will work and how can they play better without getting beat deep for big passes. Defensively by now, you know his ability. You know he has it in him to take off and run.
Yeah, because they knew coming into this game, but we've already seen examples in this contest that he can run the football.
I think they're going to examine different ways to rush him now. Are they going to do it with different lanes? Are they going to use a spy? But they have to come up with options because right now, he's hurting them.
Heading out is the Texans offense as they get set to take over here. They'll look for a drive to tie this up, down 21-14 as they have it 1st and 10. Off the play fake. Here's Roethlisberger. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Flying in to blow that play up, Alex Okafor. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. Kelsey, the intended receiver there, but now it's 3rd down. And Charles, got to like what this defense has been able to do these last couple of plays.
Yeah, they get the sack on 1st down, then they force the incomplete pass. Now they're just a play away from getting the football right back, but it's a big play. They've got to hold up.
Third down, it's Doug Martin. And he's going to lose yardage here back to the 14-yard line. The Colts going to use the first of their timeouts. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. Here's Logan Cook now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Just a net of 34 there following a punt of 44 yards. Throwing on 1st down, it's Jackson. Sliding out of the pocket. And some room to work. And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a 1st down.
On that play, as you saw the route start to develop downfield, I got the sense that maybe the run would set up for him. And he took full advantage of it and got a big gain on a busted play.
54. I can't believe they let you play. I can't believe they... Hey, watch that. Check.
Jackson on 1st down. He'll get this one complete to Zay Jones. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Indianapolis. 23 yards for the touchdown. And the Colts, they add on to their advantage.
All the receivers in the league are plenty good enough. Otherwise, they wouldn't make it in the NFL. But the ones that go to the Pro Bowl, they have refined route running ability.
Extra point by Badgley, up and good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Texans offense now, they get set to head back on the field here. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means they're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Here's a quick hitch route and the throw complete. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. To Ware on the draw. And that didn't fool anybody. He's going to be dropped in the backfield. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with exactly a minute to go before halftime. Another example right there how this defense really is winning the entire game at the point of attack.
Yeah, right there at the line of scrimmage because they are dominating it. It allows their interior guys to get upfield and spill into the backfield. So how are you going to combat that?
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Slipping into the backfield for the sack was Oren Burks. Now the Colts going to burn the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 55 seconds to go until halftime. Here's Logan Cook now. He's been terrific so far. 44 on his first punt, and this is a good kick as well. This will be taken at the 10. Just a yard return there after a punt of 49. And the Colts are going to take over, albeit deep in their own territory. And now Indianapolis set to take the field. You've got under a minute to go here until halftime. You got the good-sized lead. No need to do anything crazy.
No, there really is no need to do anything crazy. The smart play, go ahead and take your lead into the locker room and then try and add to it in the second half. But there's a part of me that looks at this and says, first half.
He's got a man complete. And he takes this one in for a Colts touchdown. Taylor Gabriel. 89 yards. And the Colts, they add on to their advantage. A nice throw there by the second-year quarterback.
And I don't believe that's the kind of play he would have made as a rookie. Because usually your rookie season is a continuation of your college days. A lot of one read, and if you don't have it, you just take off and go. Now he's settled in the pocket a little bit more, reading the field and getting to a second and sometimes third progression. That was a nice play.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. And here comes the Texans now. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6.
Don't get nervous.
They'll keep it on the ground again here. And he'll just keep 2 hands on the football as he'll be taken down after a short pickup. Give him 4 on the carry, and it'll make this a 3rd and about 2. The Texans going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout as the clock will stop with 20 seconds to go in the first half.
Back-to-back 4-yard runs. Now, look, if they just do that all the way downfield, ball ends up in the end zone, but that's a little difficult to do.
Yeah, I think now 3rd and 2, that defense ready to stiffen up and stop that run. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. So we've reached halftime here. And now, due to apparent time constraints, we fast forward to the beginning of the second half. Second half ready to get underway. The Colts with a lead, and they will receive the football. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. So here are the Colts to take over. They've got the lead right now, and remember, they are riding that very impressive 7-game winning streak, trying to push it to 8. The third quarter starts with a run by Chubb. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. Great way to start the drive. 20 big ones in a first down.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, But that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
Room here to run. There he goes, left side. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Nick Chubb, his 11th touchdown of the year. And the Colts, they add on to their advantage. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one, because those types of plays, when they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
This is taken at the 3. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Here's the Texans offense now, readying for their first possession of the second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know, at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
Trying to find his tight end, Kelsey, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Tom Davis. And he's able to get it back to the 33-yard line. The tight end, Kelsey, was the intended target.
Offensively, when you see cover 2, the thought has to go through the quarterback's head. Drive the football when making throws. It's not just the deep guys covering. It's the guys underneath you have to be careful of. Drive your throw. Otherwise, you see what results? Interceptions.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. And again, it's Chubb. And only a yard this time as he's taken down right around the 26. They follow up the gain of 5 by only getting 1 there on 2nd down.
Brandon, one thing about blitzes, they really confuse offensive linemen at times. And what you have to do is lock in on the guy right in front of you. If you don't, you saw the end result. Defensive tackle ended up making the play.
And the Texans have an extra defender in the secondary now on 3rd down.
55's my guy, 55. I don't think you got it, son.
From the gun, it's Jackson. Well, they would have gotten the conversion if he could hold on. Instead, the drop means it'll be 4th down.
Everything about that play tells you about today's NFL offenses and what they're asking out of running backs. You can't just be a guy who can run the football. You have to be able to catch it as well, and he didn't get that done on that play.
They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces him to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense, because they ran onto the field. This is what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
And now out comes Houston. They've got to dig down deep. I mean, they need something right now, really anything to cling on to. This offense has struggled.
Partner, join me in a walk to their locker room at the half, okay? Because I think what we would have seen is an offensive coordinator and his assistant coaches getting together all their positions, then coming together as a group, going over adjustments, and then the head coach coming in and just screaming, wake up. Let's get moving, guys.
I'm kind of glad we weren't in there at halftime, actually.
You think he might have turned it on us, too?
Yeah, but right now, whatever was said hasn't been working. And they're able to swarm him behind the line, and his rough night continues. He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Martin. Well, they hit him in the backfield, and he will not escape. And that is not going to get it done. The defense stiffens to force 4th down following that 1st down gain of 8.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside. and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
And problem spreading to the punt team now. This one goes all the way into the end zone on the fly, so that'll come back to the 20. Here comes the Indianapolis offense now as they get set to take over. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
Seven yards there and a first down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point. Going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Chubb. And the hole closes quickly there. He gets maybe a couple up to the 38.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stop that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
They go play action here on first down. He'll take a shot for the end zone. And it'll be intercepted. Picked off by Bryce Callahan. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. CD, I know it's just his second year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, second year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
And he held on to it, but he probably shouldn't have as they get him behind the line. That'll go as a loss of 5, and it'll be a second and long. On second and 15 now. Roethlisberger, and that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up third.
So much of this game is about leverage. We always talk about low man wins in the trenches. Well, it's like that in just about every position. And sometimes, if you lose that leverage and you're losing the battle, just jump up at the line of scrimmage and try and bat the ball away. And that's exactly what happened there.
They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th.
That's certainly playing down a distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. Taking it about the 16. 34 yards on the return. But for a moment, looked like he had a shot to go all the way. And this offense will take over right at the midfield stripe with a 1st and 10. They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10, right at the 50-yard line. Jackson hit, and he lost the football. And the Texans scoop it. Through an opening, and there he goes. And he gets into the end zone. Touchdown, Houston. Second time he's lost a fumble. This one hurts more. It's returned for 6.
He's been under a lot of duress, hasn't he? Pressured, hurried, harassed the whole game.
Well, the offensive line not giving him a lot of help.
Not a lot of help, but the bottom line, he's got to take care of the football.
Lutz with the extra point, and the lead's down to 24. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. So here are the Colts to take over. They got the victory last week. That was against the Baltimore Ravens, and they have the lead here as well. Throwing now, Jackson on first down. Going deep here for Stills. And this will be caught at the 30. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Kenny Stills with touchdown number 8 on the year as his guys continue to pour it on. Not a whole lot to recap on that drive. Just one play, 75 yards to the house.
Yeah, it's a long way to go. And remember, rarely is it a straight line 75 yards, too. Got to have a little extra in there. So whatever the final number is, a well-deserved seat on the bench, a little oxygen if he wants it as well.
This is taken at the 3. And he'll take this across the 25-yard line. Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Lorenzo Carter in there for the sack, and he's closing in on the all-time record. That's number 19 on the year. Charles, not to point fingers, but how much of this goes on the shoulders of the offensive line? Well, look at the 6 sacks last week. That's the 4th in this game.
Definitely the bulk of it does go on the offensive line. That's what they're tasked with doing, keeping their quarterback upright and clean in the pocket. But I think they have to look at, okay, are we bringing in extra people? Is the ball out of the quarterback's hands quick enough? There are a few other factors that they have to look at to try and help out, but you're exactly right. It starts with the O-line.
Now Roethlisberger. Cooper's got it. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Marking down at the 49. A pickup of 27. And they pick up the first down in the process. We are headed to the 4th here on Thanksgiving night. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Throwing now. Roethlisberger on first down. Quick slant. Caught by Moore. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. That's good for a Texan first down, a 12-yard pickup. Roethlisberger now, 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. From the shotgun, it's Roethlisberger. And a big loss here as he's taken down.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. After the sack on first down, Roethlisberger goes to Ware on the screen. Give him 5 on the screen play, and that'll set up a 3rd down.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
The Texans on 3rd down. They've converted a 1/3 of their opportunities, 3 for 9. This will be 3rd and forever. They run it here. Where? And they go backwards here. Losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. Calling a loss of 2 on the play. And that's going to bring up a 4th down. Up front, the struggles continue for this offense among the line. What can they do? Change the play calling? What?
I think part of that, yes, changing some of the play calls, some screens, some draws, some misdirection. You want to run any type of a play that will influence these guys to continue to get upfield and find a way to use that against them and slip things in behind them. So some quick passes could work as well.
55, check, 55, Mike. Here we go, here we go.
They'll start on the ground with Cannon. And a short 3-yard pickup gets him up to the 15. Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? It looks like they're headed towards a big, big number. But 20 was the threshold because that kept them in the ball game and kept the pressure off of their own offense.
On 2nd and 7, Jackson. He'll buy some time right. Jackson always a threat to run. He's got the first down. He was the NFL's leading rusher among QBs a year ago. Not only another first down, that also puts him over 100 yards rushing.
That's not something you see very often in the NFL. We see it more in college. But I think with more of the melding of the college game with quarterbacks, we'll see this a little bit more often in the future.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. They run. Chubb takes this one across the 35 to the 36, a gain of about 4.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. A gain of 11 that time, and a Colts 1st down.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
They'll run on 1st down with Cannon. He's got the 1st down and more inside the 40. And finally brought down at the 38. That one for Indianapolis, resulting in 15 yards and a fresh set of downs. All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 41. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on 1st down. That loss of 3, a rare stumble on a promising drive. Here's 2nd and 13. On 2nd down, this is Cannon. And he'll take this one down to about the 40. Just a yard there, so it brings up a tough 3rd and 12. The Colts on 3rd down. They've been good, 3 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd down and 12. Now it's Jackson. It's complete. Stills. And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. How about 25 yards on 3rd down? They'll take it. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on 3rd down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old-school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people.
And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
Is it okay if I break one of our rules, partner, which is to never call a game over until it's over? Because this certainly feels like it's over after that drive.
Yeah, that was spirit-crushing, wasn't it? And now you just kind of felt the air go out of the balloon.
Yeah, they were fighting so hard to stay in there, and they knew they had to stop them on that drive. But when they were unable to, I think you're exactly right. You could see them sag on their sideline, and I think this one might just be over.
Good work, man. Let's go. Let's go.
And the Texans set to come onto the field. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Texans football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Throwing again on 2nd down. Roethlisberger on the crossing route. He hits his man, Amari Cooper. 15 yards. The Texans pick up the 1st down. With that grab, he now sits at 200 for his career, and maybe more importantly, a 1st down.
230. Check Mike 54. Mike 54.
They'll throw on 1st down with Roethlisberger. It's Kelsey on the ground. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. They get 14 on that one. Good for a Houston 1st down. Now it's Roethlisberger. He's got it. This is Ware. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage, even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
Now a toss left side into the hands of his tight end. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for 3rd down. There's Roethlisberger. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
That's on target, but it's no good. He had it on line, but it came up just shy of the crossbar. And this score will stay right where it is.
NFL kickers nowadays, they make things look so easy because normally from this range, about 2 out of 3. And this is not an easy kick.
Yeah, 20 years ago, you get where he was in that 50 range, maybe a little over. And it's a big kick, but now we just, if they leave it short, you're like, whoa, what happened? And that's what we have here.
Yeah, you're right. 20 years ago, we were saying run some more plays and get closer. Now we think they're definitely within range, and you're exactly right. When it comes up short, there has to be something that went wrong because they have plenty of leg.
On second down, it's Cannon. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. That's good for an Indianapolis first down on a gain of 10. Another example of this offense really having their way, Charles, and another big chunk play there on the ground.
And then when you look at the defense, they've got to do a much better job of wrapping up when they tackle. A lot of great opportunities continue to slip through their fingers, as do the runners.
A big-time gain there on the keeper, using his legs to hurt him. First down. So after the big play, look at this, all the way down at the 15 now on 1st and 10. A give running right is Chubb. And he'll take this for a short gain on what will prove to be the final play of this ball game. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feel like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to